The phone rang once, then stopped, then rang again longer this time, impatient, like someone who believed they were owed an answer. I didn't pick it up. I watched it vibrate itself across the glass table, the name flashing bright and familiar, suddenly foreign. Outside, the lake lay flat and perfect, a sheet of silver pretending to be calm. Inside me, something precise clicked into place. Earlier that night, my wife had stood in the doorway with her coat already on. No kiss. No pause. "I deserve to be happy," she said, adjusting her scarf. "Even if it hurts you." She said it the way people say the weather is changing. Not cruel. Not kind. Final. Now the phone kept ringing. 71 calls would come later. Panic would learn my number by heart. But in that moment, there was only the hum of electricity, the cold air of a house that was no longer shared, and the echo of a sentence that finally made sense. I poured a drink I didn't need and sat down. I had been preparing for this night longer than she knew. Longer than anyone knew. 12 years teaches you the weight of a person's footsteps. You know when they're tired, when they're lying, when they're already gone. The first time she stayed at her sister's house overnight, I believed her. Family is the oldest alibi, the safest hiding place. Her sister smiled too easily, hugged too tightly, called it support. She called it a harmless mistake later, when words were already bleeding. I noticed small things first. Perfume that wasn't hers. A charger in the wrong bag. The way her phone never left her palm anymore, like it might scream if set down. When I asked questions, I received rehearsed calm. "You're imagining things. You're tired. You're being dramatic." Gaslighting isn't fire. It's fog. You don't feel burned, you feel lost. The real fracture came on a Sunday afternoon. Her sister's car was parked outside our building. Engine still warm. My wife was supposedly out buying groceries. I stood there with the bags in my hands and felt denial die quietly. I didn't confront her. I did something more dangerous. I started paying attention. Revenge fantasies are loud. Real revenge is silent. I became a listener, an archivist, a man who smiled while his mind built rooms no one else could see. Phone records told stories timestamps couldn't hide. One number repeated itself like a pulse. GPS data traced a familiar route: our home, then her sister's house, then nowhere official. Overnight gaps. Weekends erased. I hired no one. I trusted no one. I learned. Her sister's house had 2 spare keys. One was missing. I found the receipt for the copy folded into a book she never read. A year. That's how long it had been happening. A full year of borrowed sheets, borrowed lies, borrowed loyalty. Holidays where her sister sat across from me, passing bread, nodding sympathetically, while facilitating my erasure. I remained gentle, predictable, useful. I attended dinners. I fixed things. I became invisible in my own life. Then Thanksgiving came. My daughter-in-law called, her voice sharp with inherited entitlement. "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes," she shouted, laughing at her own cruelty. I looked at my packed bag, at my passport, at the flight confirmation glowing quietly on my phone. "Enjoy," I said. Then I left the country. The villa in Switzerland was never a secret. It was just never hers. Glass walls, clean lines, silence engineered to heal nothing. I stood on the terrace the first morning and posted a single photo, no caption. Just light, stone distance. My phone detonated. Calls, messages, voicemails stacked like debris after a storm. "Where are you?" Why didn't you tell me? Please answer. 71 times. I let it ring. 2 days later, I agreed to meet. Neutral ground. A cafe where the chairs were uncomfortable enough to keep things brief. She arrived breathless, eyes scanning me for damage. She found none. I slid an envelope across the table. Inside were timelines, photos, access logs. Dates aligned so cleanly they looked surgical. At the top, a single sentence. 1 year. Her sister's house. Her mouth opened, closed, laughed once, too sharp. She helped me, she said weakly. She said it was harmless. I nodded. That's what accomplices do, I said. For the first time, she cried. I didn't. I deserve to be happy, she whispered again, like a prayer. So do I said. I told her about the accounts she never had access to, the clauses she never read, the way assets move when you plan years ahead instead of months. Her sister called, again and again. I watched the screen light up between us, betrayal turning inward, teeth bared. You trapped me, she said. I shook my head. No, I observed you. That broke something essential. I stood, adjusted my coat, and left her with the bill. With the truth. With the knowledge that the life she thought she was building had been collateral damage in her own quiet war. There was no shouting, no scene, just consequences arriving on time. Back in Switzerland, the mornings are disciplined. Light arrives without apology. Mountains don't explain themselves. Neither do I. I think about 12 years sometimes. Not with sadness. With inventory. Lessons cataloged. Costs calculated. Betrayal didn't destroy me. It refined me. I didn't crush her with anger. I let her collapse under the weight of her own choices. And when my phone finally went silent, I realized something simple, something clean. I wasn't angry anymore. I was free.